In this video, you will learn how to use the Sales Navigator to get highly qualified leads correctly in 2024. So welcome to this video now, and as you can see already, we switch now to my desktop. My name is Marco, and the last 3 years only, I generated over 4,000 leads on LinkedIn by myself. And with leads, I don't mean some data that's scraped. With leads, I mean people that shared the number with me in the chat because they're interested to speak with us about our offerings. So let's get started. So first, what I will explain to you today in this video are all the different filters that we have here. After that, I will also give you some example searches of what exactly you can do after you're aware of the filters. So the first filter that we have here is called current company. There you can look for a specific company. Like for example, if your goal is to target people inside Amazon, you simply have to put in here Amazon, and then you will see all the different Amazon companies that are registered here in LinkedIn. So the next important filter is called company head account. And this is honestly saying one of the filters that I use the most when I use the Sales Navigator for myself, but also for our customers here. Because here you can target the company and how big the company exactly should be. So let's say, for example, you're only working with small and medium-sized companies. There you can use filters like 1 to 10, 11 to 50, 51 to 200, etc. But let's say your offering is perfect for the corporate world. What you need to do then is you need to choose the other filters. Like for example, then companies 1,000 employees, 5 to 10k employees, 10k employees plus. This really depends on what exactly you're offering and who your perfect dream customers. Based on that, you can choose the company head account here. Then the next filter is the past company. You can use it if you want. It's not so relevant and not so very important. Company type is simply, hey, if it is a public company, if it's non-profit, if it's partnership, is it self-employed, but also a filter that you don't really need to use because it's not so effective. Company headquarter locations, on the other hand, is effective, but there is a better one that I will show you later, so this you can also ignore. The next filter I want to explain you is called function. This is for if you want to target specific people inside a company. Like for example, the people that are responsible for the accounting of the company, or the people that are responsible for the business development. In certain scenarios, this definitely makes sense to use this filter here, and if you use it right, it is very powerful. Now, here comes my favorite, and this is called current job title. For example, if I'm making a search, what I want to have are the CEOs, the owners, the founders, the entrepreneurs. So means the people where I know for a fact that they're in a position to make a decision. This I can either target here with current job title or also with seniority level, because with seniority level, I can include, for example, the owners, the partners, the C-levels, the vice presidents. The long story short, the people that are in a position to make a decision. Here, you need to ask yourself, what is better for you? For some people, current job title makes more sense because they only want to reach out to people that have a specific title. For some people, seniority level is more than enough. It really depends from scenario to scenario. But I can say these are the two most important filters inside the whole Sales Navigator, because obviously you only want to speak to the people that are a good fit for what you're offering. Next filter I want to show you is called past job title. This is in the end if you target people that had a certain job before and they have now a new one. In my personal opinion, not so very relevant, simply because you want to pitch the present person and not the past person. Now these two filters, years in current company and years in current position, can make sense to target to really up-level the quality of your search. Because for example, if you're selling marketing services, it makes more sense to choose here when it comes to years in current company, to choose here filters like 3 to 5 years, 6 to 10, or more than 10 years. Why is that? Simply because if it is a new company, the chance that they have some high marketing budget and they're really ready to invest some money into working with you is quite low. Simply because they just started. Simply because they most probably don't make a lot of revenue right now. They don't have a lot of cash flow. They don't make a lot of profit. So it means to really up-level the quality of your search, you can start here with, for example, 3 to 5 years, 6 to 10, more than 10 years. Same is, by the way, also for years in current position, exactly same scenario. With that, you can drastically increase the quality of your search. So next very important is called geography. Geography, there you can simply choose where the person should come from. So if you want them, for example, to come from Dubai, you can simply put in Dubai. If they should come from Europe, you can put in any country in Europe. If they should be from the US, you can put in the United States. If it should be the whole MENA region, you can put in the MENA region. There you can simply choose where your customer should come from. Now, also one very important filter is called industry. So if you're offering a service that is only a good fit for a specific industry, like for example, if you're working with real estate agents, then you can just put in real estate, you can include this, and then you only have people in your search that are active in the real estate niche. This is one way how to do it. Or for example, if you sell marketing services for consulting service businesses, you can put in all the industries and size that are a good fit. So here you can really choose in what industry should the person be in that you want to target. Now the next filters that we have here, first name, last name, not very relevant, but profile language, it definitely is. Because here you need to choose a language that you're speaking, because if you have a conversation with them, you need to be able to speak the right language. So if you're speaking English, for example, you can just put in English. If you speak Spanish or Portuguese, you can put this language inside. Or for example, in my case, I speak English and German. I can simply put in English and German, because then I make sure and I know for a matter of fact that I only have conversations with people where I'm really able to have a conversation without having a language barrier with them. So now the next three filters, years of experience, groups, and school, are in my opinion not so very powerful and not so relevant, simply because in years of experience we can simply choose years in current company or years in current position, what definitely makes more sense than years of experience. Groups, yeah, if you're in the same groups, you can choose this here, you can add here some groups. School, if you only want, for example, to have people that graduated in Harvard, just for an example, you can put this here, but as I said, not so very relevant. So the next four filters under buyer intent, these are very nice filters to use if you know how to use them properly, but in the end, they are not so very relevant. So I wouldn't advise to use them very much, so that's how I say let's skip them. Next one is called connection. Here you can simply choose what type of connection should it be. If you're running, for example, follow-up campaigns, obviously you want to have first-degree connections and you can send them direct messages. If it is about increasing your connection, I would always advise to go with second-degree connection. Why is that? Simply because second-degree connection means that these are people that are already connected with people that you are already connected with. So the chances that they accept your acceptance rate is much higher than, for example, third-degree connections. So if you have enough people in the search, always use second-degree connection. If you don't have enough people, then you need to choose third-degree connections plus. Connections off is a filter that is only relevant if you want, for example, to connect with people where one of your colleagues is already connected with. So here, if I would, for example, put in one of our employees, I could connect with all the people that he is already connected with. In some cases, this definitely makes sense. Team link connections off, there you can simply search for a member, past colleague, shared experiences. These are not so relevant. One of my most important, or one of the filters that I like the most, is called posted on LinkedIn. Because with that, you can simply increase the quality of a search by just 10x. Because posted on LinkedIn means that a person in the last 30 days posted something on LinkedIn. So with that, we know that this person is active. So that when we reach out to him, the chances that he really accepts our connection request, that he sees our messages, is much higher. Because he posted on LinkedIn, that means he is active. So the chances that he sees our messages is much higher than without this filter. So if you have more than enough people, I always recommend to turn this on, because it increases the quality of your search just by 10x. Now the next filters that we have here are called persona, account list, lead list. This from time to time, this definitely can make sense to not use a lead search, but you can do also an account search as well. If you do that, then with account list, you can then create your lead list here. Lead list If you only want to target a specific amount of people, like where you're extremely picky, I want to reach out to him, to him, to him, and to him, etc., then you can create a lead list and then you can just add it here. People in CRM, if you have your CRM connected with Sales Navigator, you can, for example, exclude everybody that is already inside your CRM. Make sure that you don't contact somebody twice. People are already interacted with, so if you want to make, for example, some follow-up campaigns, you make your include, that you message them again. Or what you can also do is you can simply click both on exclude, that as soon as you already interacted with somebody, that he goes away of the Sales Navigator search, that you really can get new people inside. So the last filter that we have here is called saved leads and accounts. This is simply, once again, with a lead list. So if you have somebody saved, you can exclude them or include. So if you only want to have the people here on the right side that you all have saved, you can simply include everything. If you want to make sure that you only are able to reach new people, you can just exclude here everything. So now this was already every single filter that is relevant here inside the Sales Navigator for the lead list. Now for sure you're asking yourself, hey, how should I combine now these filters to make sure that you only have a search that is a good fit? So what we're going to do now is we will create together a search. For example, how you can create a search if you're selling some marketing services, etc. So let's do this now. So when we want to start to sell some marketing services, here the first thing that we definitely need is the company head account. So when you sell marketing services, I wouldn't advise to go to the big companies. I would start with more the smaller companies, 11 to 50, and maybe 51 to 200, because everything bigger will be a little bit difficult because most of the time they are doing everything in-house. So now the next very important filter here is current job title, because when it comes to these small and medium-sized companies and it comes to marketing services, this is something that a CEO needs to decide. So here we can simply put in the CEO, we can put in the founder of the company, then we can also put in the co-founder of the company. Then what is also very important is, for example, the owner or the co-owner as well. Then some people are even calling themselves just entrepreneur as a job title. Then what is also important is, for example, the executive director. This one we can also put inside, because here we simply have then all of the people that are able to make a decision. So in case you're not selling marketing services, you're selling something else, what you need to check here is simply who is the person that is able to make a decision to either work with you or not. Because the last thing or the worst thing that can happen to you in sales, that if you're having a conversation, everything is going right, the person says he loves the offer, he has the money for it, then in the end he says to you, hey, listen Marco, I can't make this decision, I need to ask XYZ for permission. You don't want this to happen, so really think about, for your offering, who is the person who is able to make a decision to work with you or not, and put exactly this job title here inside. So now we have your job title inside. So now we could also choose seniority level, but I have here the opinion, or let's say it like this, I make it always like this, that I either choose seniority level or job title. Both together also works, but doesn't really make sense. So in our case now, for selling the marketing services, what we can do is, so years in current company, we can put this of 3 to 5 years, 6 to 10 years, or even more than 10 years, simply because of that we know that we have companies or people that are already in the game for at least 3 years, so the chances that they have budgets for marketing services is much higher than a company or a person that just started literally 6 months ago. Next thing we want to have in our example search here is geography. So let's say we want to win clients for our marketing services in Dubai. There we can choose in Dubai. We can also put in Abu Dhabi, for example, if we want this other emirate as well. And then we can simply put this inside. Then profile language. I speak English, so these people also need to speak English. So now we can see already the number goes down, down, down. So now we have only 17,000 people. The next filter that I want to use is here, I will click on connection. So I want to see how many secondary connections would be a good fit for what I'm offering. So now we still have 12,000 people. And now we use here this magic filter called posted on LinkedIn. Now we can see we have 3,000 people that all are active. So now the next thing that we need to ask ourselves is industry. There we can either include a bunch of industries or exclude a bunch of industries. For example, here, if I'm trying to sell advertising services, it makes sense to definitely exclude advertising services, because why should I pitch marketing services to a company that's providing marketing services? Doesn't make sense. Here you can either start to include everything you want, like for example, I want to have accounting, but I don't want to have construction. How I always make this is either I include a bunch of stuff or I simply exclude a bunch of stuff. So here, in that case, I would just exclude the industries that aren't a good fit or simply include the industries that I want. So right now, if the industries aren't very important, then we can see already we have here 2,500 people that are a good fit. So what we need to check here is, are they really a good fit? Are there some type of red flag, something that isn't a good fit for us, something that we want to change because we simply see, okay, no, this isn't perfect. Only after this, only after we check this and we really know for a matter of fact that these are the people that are a good fit for us, only then we can start to really connect with the people, or we can then start to use a software. So let's say now we have here checked everything. They are a good fit. So now you only have two choices. First choice would be by simply reaching out to them personally. Like for example, here I can send them a message. Here I can send him now an email, or I can also send him a connection request. I can do this manually, but it will take me a couple hours. What makes more sense is to automate here everything. But really simply making here a search that is a good fit, and then you can simply copy paste these links and use it in a software, like for example ours, leadsin.io. How this looks like, I will show you now. So now after you've checked that everything is right, you can simply, for example, copy paste this link and use our software to do all the hard work for you. How an example campaign could look like here is, for example, like this. So if you look at this, this is your lead source. This is simply exactly the Sales Navigator search that we just did. Then you can start with a view profile. So it means that you will first view the profile of every single person that you have in your Sales Navigator search. Then you can check if they have a free email. If yes, you can simply reach out to them via free email. The big advantage of this is you can send up to 2,000 emails per month to the people that have an open profile. If they don't have an open profile, you can follow the person because he gets a pop-up. Same as, by the way, with a view profile. Before we sending a connection request, we view the profile, we follow the person, and if we send him then a connection request, it's not coming out of the blue. We are not a complete stranger anymore. He saw our face already twice because of the pop-ups, and that's why acceptance rate of 40 to 60% are literally nothing special anymore. After we have sent him the connection request, there are only two things that can happen. Either he accepts or he not. Let's say he accepts, then we can start to send him messages, for example, or if he doesn't accept, then we can send him an email. Obviously, this video today is not about our software, it's about the Sales Navigator. But why I'm showing you this is only because of one simple reason. You can make the best targeting inside the Sales Navigator. If you're not reaching out to the people, the search is completely irrelevant and it's completely worthless. So what you need to learn from this video are exactly two things today. First thing is, Sales Navigator is extremely powerful if you know the filters and if you know how to use them properly. Second thing is that even if you have the best search, if you don't reach out to the people systematically, like for example with a campaign like this, the search is completely irrelevant. So take yourself the time now, think about how you can use the Sales Navigator for yourself to really target the people that you want to reach out to. And if you decide yourself that you don't want to do this manually, you don't want to invest countless hours every single day to do everything manually, then go now to our website, leadsin.io, check it out and book your free demo now, because then inside the demo, I will show you this campaign, I will explain you there everything, and will even help you to set up this whole campaign. So if you're saying automatization tools are interesting for you, check out the website, leadsin.io, there you will see everything and book your free demo now. From my side, wish you an awesome day, see you soon, your Marco.